what you say on YouTube. Something a bit different today. Usually I do like videos of like techniques and that, but I just want to come on here and share a couple of things because I'm seeing a lot of people share about breath work, about like mouth taping. There's been a lot in the public conscious, mainstream conscious about mouth taping, a lot more than usual. And I just wanted to come and share my experience of it and how it relates to self-defense and how you could possibly use it, you know, for your own, but how, or you could take a similar path to what I did if you want to, right? I'm just going to preface this by saying I'm not an expert. I'm not an instructor in breath work or anything like that. All I'm doing is sharing my experiences of what I went through. So you might find it useful and you might apply it to your own life. In terms of self-defense, it can be quite useful because it can bring you more present in your day-to-day life. So as you're walking around, you're less distracted with a monologue that's going in your head, so you can be aware of any dangers that might present itself to you. Also, it helps with any kind of athletic enhancement for fitness, for self-protection, in terms of be able to hit harder, longer, be able to run or act more explosively in the movement. So it has a multitude of benefits should you choose to take that path. But I'm just here just to share my experiences, and if you like it, cool. And you can use some of it. So you know, clients often ask me to share, you know, let me just rewind back actually. Back in 2020, when the pandemic was on, I was bored, looking for stuff to read, looking for stuff that could enhance, you know, I suppose, my education as an instructor and what I could add value to people's lives. So when it come back to normal, and I was following a guy called Phil Daru for a while, and he put down about 4 or 5 books, and one of them was this book, The Oxygen Advantage by Patrick McKeown. Fucking hell, that's the wrong way, isn't it? That's the wrong way. Fuck. Anyway, you get the idea. Google that shit, okay? And it was like I remember reading it, thinking I've never heard of like breath work. I've never been in meditation. Never been in any of that. I've heard of it, but I thought, because the book, let me just read, it says, The Oxygen Advantage, simple, scientifically proven breathing techniques to help you maximize the benefits of any fitness program, simulate high altitude training for heightened athletic performance, improve your sleep, focus, and concentration, eliminate asthma symptoms, lose weight easily, and maintain the weight loss. So I was reading this book and it vibed with me because growing up, a lot of the symptoms that Patrick went through, I went through. Like, so fucking sleep like shit, constantly waking up with a dry mouth, brain fog, distracted mind, not focused. And I think the one that really focused for me was like athletic aerobic performance, because I was always struggling, always breathing from my mouth, always gassing and gasping for air. Even when I was hitting like milestones, like I had little personal milestones, I was like, oh, let me hit that. Insanity workouts, when I was doing like jumping bullshit hit workouts and all that, I was always like that, just that edge seemed to be missing. I was just like always gassing just that little bit. And no matter how much I tried, it never seemed to be enough. So I gave this book a go, and like all good books, there was just a little bit like, there's a lot of information here. Is there anything that I can do to cut down the learning curve? And I got myself a coach. It was Louise Morgan was my coach. So it was a pandemic at the time as well. So we'd done it all online, all on Zoom. And she wrote me a program. And it starts off really basic. You start off doing simple breath holds. And then, only then, do you tape your mouth up, okay? I think it was the second week, I think, we'd taped our mouth up. Yeah, so breath holds, breathe light to breathe right, and yeah, mouth taping. And yeah, massive improvements. Snoring is fucking improved. I will say, with my snoring, I went to the NHS first, so I don't know whether you're reading this, doctors. And I was like, you know, because 2 previous partners had been like, bro, they were like, fucking hell, you're snoring shit. Like, it's keeping me up. It just ruined relationships, man. Like, 2 of them had to like go to another separate room and all that. Fucking snoring it was a fucking massive problem for me for a long time. And what it was the doctor's done a little test on me. Like they put like a it's called an SpO2 oximeter, and what they discovered was like I was doing this in my sleep. So it's like weren't really sleeping. It was almost like I was suffocating myself in my sleep. And that's just a restriction of my airways. There's more scientific studies and shit, but I'm not going to go into it. I didn't really fucking have a boner for any of that. But yeah, so they suggested like there's two ways you could do it. They could break the jaw, reshape it with surgery, or another less invasive method, just a brace that just puts your jaw forward. Because back when I was growing up, I had to have 4 teeth removed at the back, two on this side, two on this side, and that basically fucks with the structure of your jaw. So you should have a nice square jaw like those in the films, isn't it? Like Conan the Barbarian type shit. But obviously, yeah, it fucks with your breathing, and this can help just elevate that. On top of that, the mouth taping has really worked for me. What I will say though is when I worked with Louise, it wasn't just the mouth taping that worked for me. It was the breathe right to breathe light, breath holds, and the mouth taping. The breathe right to breathe light I had a lot of problems with. I couldn't do it just reading the book. I had to kind of it took me a little while. It took me not a long time, but it took practice to really get it. And even now I do it like this week. I think I've only done it 3 times a week. I was just more interested in having a line some days, to be honest, and then just going straight out. So, and she, she was like, "Can you do it twice a day?" I was like, "Look, can I get away with doing once a day?" I'll be honest, I just couldn't be fucked in it. Even now, once a day is enough for me. And at the end, you do that in the morning. Breathe right to breathe light. It was 4 minutes of 4 exercises, so 16 minutes, and in between strong breath holds. And at night, just 5 minutes of just breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds. And that was, you can get the Respire Spotify thing. On Spotify, there's a thing called Respire that you can do. So, massively beneficial for me. Less snoring, that's what she says anyway. Improved focus. Cardio, far better. Far better. Lasts longer when I'm running a BJJ. A lot better, even for self-protection. When I've pressure tested, a lot better. Daily focus has improved 100%. Be able to concentrate for longer on tasks. Brain fog's reduced as well. Some massive benefits to it. I would say that, I think people have simplified it now by saying, just tape your mouth. There is more to it than that. I would encourage you that if you did want to take that step, that, there's a lot of free information out there, but I would get a coach, and you can do it all online, because a coach should be able to get you there faster with your unique, because everyone's unique, right? You might not snore, you might have a different set of problems that I have no idea about. Having a good coach in that will be able to identify it. So my experience might be different from yours. So you can go on Oxygen Advantage, look up the coach. It sounds like a fucking sales letter, doesn't it, for the Oxygen Advantage? But look, that's just my experience. That's what I would recommend. I think any of the free stuff, it's all right, but I just don't think. I think everyone's different, and everyone should have something that works for them. If you take, for example, a UFC fighter that fights, his breathing training regime is going to be different from mine, right? He probably trains a lot more than I do. He's probably going to be doing more breath holds. So everyone's different. So what's working for me and my lifestyle might not work for you. And again, I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing my experiences. So even if I shared with you, actually, I can share with you what I do. I do breath holds, just maybe 5-10 minutes a day. So all that is if I'm in the car, I'm driving, it's just. You do that for 5 minutes. Breathe light to breathe right, 16 minutes. So 4 sets of exercises with a minute's maximum breath hold in between. And then at night, it's five seconds in for 5 minutes. That's it. And I don't do that every day. So there are days I miss it, just like training. Sometimes you miss training. Life gets in the way, shit gets in the way. More pending things to do, the more important things to do. And that just keeps me on point. Could I be getting better results by doing more? Yeah, but quite honestly, I can't be fucked. I feel pretty good, and it's done enough. Snoring's improved. Present day to day as well. I'm not so in my thoughts. I'm more, not all the time, but majority of the time, I'm a little bit more aware of what's going on around me, depending on the environment in. So it definitely helps from that self-protection point of view. And it can help. Regular breath work can help. Just involves work. Like with anything, if you want to get fit, it involves work. And it requires just practice, daily practice, almost daily practice. So that's just something I want to share with you. That was my experience. Breath work. I mean, I haven't tried the Wim Hof method. The Wim Hof method. I've got a couple of mates that do that, but they like to get high. They say that shit makes them high. I fucking don't do that shit anymore, innit? So for me personally, just the Oxygen Advantage is a gentler introduction to breath work. And if you choose to go down that path, I would say get an instructor, get someone to tailor a plan for you. But that's what's worked for me. If you take anything out of this, then cool. And you know, hope you might, or you just carry on, whatever, man. It's all good. But yeah, hopefully that's helped you. Let me share my experiences. Yeah, that's it, man. I need to go put a fucking wash on or some shit, actually. So I'll see you later.